Hey guys, it's Dr. Blue here and welcome to the Evil Within review. Now, before we start, I'm just going to explain how the structure of this is all going to work. First of all, I'm going to talk about my first impressions of the game, what I thought when I first played it, how I felt that it would be, and then secondly, I'm going to be talking about the good parts of the game, otherwise known as the features. After that, I'm going to be talking about what brought the game down and where it failed in parts, which I'm going to call criticisms. And finally, I'm going to talk about the game as a whole and the overall game, followed by a true rating from 1 to 10. Rating going to be 1 terrible, 2 awful, 3 bad, 4 below average, 5 needs work, 6 average, 7 good, 8 bronze, 9 silver, and 10 gold. So that's how it's all going to work. Now remember, this is my opinion, so if you don't like it, I'm sure you've got one of your own. Feel free to leave it in the comments below. So let's get into it. Now, first impressions of the game were that it seemed like a game and it was going to be a good horror game because it had already scared me in the second episode, so it was doing its job. However, I didn't know that the game was set in another world, which as you proceed through the game is kind of how the fucking game explains the whole situation. Also, first impressions of the game, that the game wasn't scared to turn our own people against me, because in the second chapter of the game it had already used one of our friends against us. Is he... what is he doing? Are you... oh, gun conveniently lying on the floor. Oh, I've actually got a gun now as well. Who's that? Who is that that is eating? Who? What? Whoa! Okay. Oh, that's the police officer. Oh! So we were already getting an insight into Ruvik's mind of how he was going to torment us. So he was going to use our friends against us. That's one thing he can already do. Now, onto the features of the game. Now, this game, for me personally, did a lot of things right. They definitely had the fear elements. It is at that point. Oh. Which is what all horror games should aim to do. And I think this one captured that to an extent, but it could have been better, and I'll come back to that. But another feature of this game was kind of the action side of the game, because you could actually kill the enemy bosses. No, that hurt. Oh shit, I got the fuck. Oh yes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but in the horror games that I've played so far, you couldn't actually kill the bosses. You could just run away from them. And you could solve puzzles to defeat them, but you could never shoot them to death, which is something that Evil Within did, which is different. And while quite innovative, it also kind of dragged them down a little bit. Talking about the bosses, actually, the bosses they invented were pretty creative. Well, some more than others. And some definitely grosser than others, but even so, with each boss I couldn't imagine what they could look like. I could never be running around and then just think, oh, I know this guy is going to come up, unless they showed me, which they did with the Keeper. They definitely installed fear in me, like these bosses, and even with the boss fights arenas that they set them in, they worked. Oh shit! No oh fuck no, not in there. Oh god. Oh, you fucking kidding me. Yeah, let's get this gas away first. Come on, 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 come on. No, 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 no. But in all seriousness, some of the arenas were actually pretty good, and they definitely had me feeling the pressure while fighting some of these bosses. Although the whole story is meant to be this dream world we're all stuck in, and the whole theme of it was just a dream is kind of terrible and a lazy way for developers to explain games. I do feel that it's the only way to explain this whole world. Like, for the Evil Within, it wouldn't make sense otherwise. But at the same time, they give the backstory in the real world to where Doc and Ruvik, and where Ruvik grow up, and how the two split apart and they became enemies. Now, I'm not sure how Ruvik's brain managed to get us all hooked up to that machine and into this dream world, but I'm sure that will be explained in the DLC for this game. Now, although I haven't played the Evil Within DLC, I can see that there's 3 of them, which is The Assignment, where you play as Julie Kidman, the one who I said should have had a DLC all along, and then I find out that they did it anyway. So Bethesda and Tango Gameworks, well done. They actually like captured what I was thinking, and they could put it in anyway. The Consequence is the second DLC, which is the second half of Julie's story, and the third DLC is different. This one, it's where you play as a long-standing rival of ours, the Keeper, and you use first person instead of third here, and you fight, and I quote, some of the most iconic adversaries of the evil within. So I'm looking forward to playing that at a later date. Also, the lack of ammo in this game that did annoy me a lot of the time was responsible for about 20% of my deaths. And they're still not dead. Have I got anything left to hit them with? And possibly 20% of my kills too. Right, I'm sure this is a completely scummy tactic, but I'm just gonna hit him on the ladder. I'm just gonna fucking do that because this game hasn't decided to give me anything. Oh, it fucking worked! Okay, let's get out of here. Come on. But it also gave me a sense of desperation, like you're in this horror world and you're scraping by to get whatever ammo you can to survive this horrible world. Now, my first criticism of the game, first of all, is that I know how I talked about it, how it was innovative, that you could kill the bosses, and while that is an innovative way of doing it, it also takes the scare factor out of the game, because when I first fought the Keeper, I was running around trying to shoot him in some desperate attempt, and while the Keeper can keep coming back, he can also be killed with a couple of explosive bolts. And you've got to be kidding me. I know that hurt. Oh, that hurt, bitch. Oh, fuck, is he dead? Oh, that was fucking easy. And so when that would happen, it was kind of anticlimactic, because all you had to do to get rid of enemy bosses or to get them to go away was shoot them to death. And all along the lines of the action feature of this game, I felt there was a little too much action in places and not enough horror at some points. Fuck off, lot of ya. And while it is vital in the final battle that you use the Caliber machine gun, I felt that it was making it more of an action game. And in horror games, you're supposed to run away or hide from the bad guys. You're supposed to be the victim. You're not supposed to be the controller. Plow through it. Just do it. I can drive! Oh, that's cool! This game keeps bringing me more and more features. I love it. This is cool. I like it. Nah! This is great. Oh my god. I love this. Also, the game felt almost scared to kill off any characters. Now, I said in the first impressions that they killed off Connolly, but we knew him for all of 2 minutes. And at least in the main story, yes, we did have Doc killed, but I really thought they could have kept him alive, because of his connection with Ruvik, they could have dragged him along with us throughout to thicken the plot and to build the relationship of hate between Ruvik and Doc. And when they did eventually kill Joseph as well, which I was hoping they wouldn't, we only saw Kidman shoot him once in the hip, which he's already survived once before. If the game maybe acknowledged his death more, we could have gone through the game with some sense of loss. I didn't even know he was dead until the very end when Seb said it. Leslie. Kidman. Oh, this is the thing it showed at the start.
Sebastian, get away from him.
Don't do it, Kidman. Don't make me do it.
Sebastian, listen to me. Stop. Your interests are the same as ours.
You are not killing Leslie.
Look, I get it. You're not just some rookie detective, and this is not just some ordinary kid. You killed Joseph and you shot me.
She killed Joseph? Is he dead?
At this moment, that's enough reason for me not to trust you.
You're a good man.
Is Joseph dead?
Why
When the fuck did that happen? The ending as well. Okay, the ending was a little trippy, but it did actually use the strategy that comes with horror games for once. Shoot this guy in the stomach, which I thought was a ballsack at the time. Oh, come on. I've got to hit him in his ballsack. I think I've got to hit him in the ballsack. And then shoot him in the head. But because of the fact that it was an RPG, it kind of ruined it and gave it the action feel again that you get in these shooter games. And also, when Seb gets impaled on that bar, yeah, the game does make the moment seem slightly dramatic, because it's the fact that Seb could die, he's been mortally wounded. Oh shit! Stay with it, Seb. But I think if they'd shown a few more things, that scene could be a lot better. First of all, take out the battle music and replace it with some last chance music or something. Then change it into slow motion. And then show some of Seb's injury, because an RPG has a strong recoil, and so that would push him further back onto the pole, therefore injuring him a little more. And they could have shown Seb's reaction, like maybe a small delay where he leans over and holds his chest or something. So, I mean, obviously, the scene could be a lot better than that, but I think along those sort of lines, and then maybe Seb holding and leaning over and holding his chest because he's really injured, and like, maybe like, don't let them use the scope, just blind fire, so just launching the rockets and a last final attempt, I think could have really improved that scene. Also, in the ending, where Ruvik knocks him off the pole once you've successfully RPG'd Ruvik's monster. There you go. Now, right there, you can clearly see that that tentacle is coming at him from an angle. It's not hit him from behind, which it would take to get him straight off. So he should technically be missing a hip right about now. Oh, he just knocked him off of it. Oh, fuck. That's either tore straight through the side of him or it's torn clean off. You know, I swear he hits him sideways. So if he had hit him sideways, the bar would have gone through him either to his left or to his right, whichever way he knocked him off. But that would surely leave a hole in Seb, like, at the side without a hip. So surely he would be dead unless he knocked him clean off. So he knocked him off the way he came on, so it just went back through the hole. But it doesn't look like they could have possibly done that from the way he got hit by the monster. And I get that the DLC might be filling in some gaps of the story, but you shouldn't have to plug up a story with DLC. The DLC should be an add-on, an extra to the game, not to fill in the plot holes. If you need to fill in plot holes, you just update the game. And so how did Ruvik even get us hooked up to that machine in the first place if he's just a brain? Like, there's a few plot holes in this thing that is probably going to be plugged up with the DLC that's coming out. Well, it's already out, and when I play that, it might explain to us then, but you shouldn't have to plug up a story with DLC. Also, why did Ruvik let us get this far? It's his world, right? So why doesn't he just kill us? And I know this silhouette guy tells us that he likes to mess with people. You gonna let me in to save?
You figured it out yet? Loves tormenting others. Has to let them know he has the upper hand.
But surely he doesn't mess with people so much that they can destroy him. So as you can see, there are a lot of plot holes for them to fill. I hope they do it with the DLC. They should have done it with the original game first anyway. Here's hoping that they do it with the actual DLC instead. Overall, the game was innovative with its action side to the story, but I think it just pushed that a little too far and didn't really keep to itself as a horror game. But it did do good as an action game, again, but it needed more horror. So for a true rating for this game without any DLC, so The Evil Within itself as a core game, I'm going to give it a true rating of 7. It was a good game and a hell of a lot of fun, but this game definitely needs some work to improve certain parts of the story. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. I've been Dr. Blue, you've been my audience, and I'll see you guys next time.